What's up, everybody? It is your main man, Juggernaut. Multi-platinum production team, Arkatech Beatz. Welcome to the Music Review Live Series. We back on. I hope you had a good Mother's Day weekend. Cyan, what up? If it's your first time here, welcome. Like I said, I'm Juggernaut, the multi-platinum production team, Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. You know, we are multi-platinum producers. We are responsible for producing for your favorite rappers. Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy of Mobb Deep, Jada Kiss the Game, Waka Flocka Flame, Killer Mike, Max B, French Montana, Coke Wave, 3.5 out now. Watch out for that Cosmo Brothers coming soon. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream, man. We've been out for a couple of days, you know, getting this Mother's Day weekend thing going. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day weekend, but we back at it. We back in the game. We back in the system. Back doing the thing that we like to do here, which is we're reviewing these guys' music, listening to tracks. For folks who have submitted their music, we will be listening. And then, you know, for folks who are submitting, what are we looking for? We're just looking to see what we can hear in terms of new artists, new producers, new everything. You know what I mean? We're trying to see who's out here, see who's trying to get it done, and see who we can work with, etc., and who we can help. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream. And like I said, man, we've been just running around for Mother's Day weekend. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day weekend. You know, Mother's Day is always tough for me because, you know, I lost my mom in 2018. So, you know, it's been a little crazy. I always try to use that time to recharge a little bit, kind of get my mind right. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody out there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? If you got your moms out here, man, if your moms are still around, man, give her a hug, man. Because when it changes forever. So shout out to everybody. We're about to get into this thing, man. I got some music in the queue, and we'll take a listen to it. J-Love, what up, man? Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we got a bunch of records in the queue, man. We got well over 1,000 submissions that we've had in here. You know what I'm saying? I think this queue is upwards of 500 right now. You know, we're going to try to take a listen to some joints tonight. We're going to be on for a short period of time. For the folks who are in my Future Producer Society, school.com/Future Producer Society, make sure y'all are checking that out. That is where we are helping the next wave of producers. Guys are joining this thing. They're learning this music business. I'm showing them everything that I can show them, that I know. You know, we're just giving them the jewels, man. Giving them the real events that's happening in real time. We're talking about different subjects, publishing, black box. We're talking about best way to get your streams moving better, you know, to get your production better. We're doing everything inside here. It's about to get real crazy. I hope folks are being able to keep up with us as we start to move along in this community faster. So I'm about to jump into this thing here, man. We're about to jump into these songs. This is from OD. We listened to this already. We're going to listen to this first joint. It's basically a skip. Okay. F'd Up Reality by Lyrical The Lyricist. All right. Well, we're going to take a listen to that. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream. Like I said, we're going to be on here for a hot second. And we're going to listen to a few joints. Let's go.
Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been seen since.
Hold on, let's try playing double. Shout out to everybody in the live. Give me 1 second to listen to that again. Like, why is it playing like that? All right, J-Lo, look out for it.
Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. Nobody ever taught me tricks to the trade. My mom just said there's lots of money to be made. Grab every dollar you can get, it's the ruler of the world, kid. Don't you forget, you're on the food chain. Subliminal messages sent to my brain. It's insane, killed the pain with a little of my cocaine. Couldn't get out my head what my mama just said. Basically, you need to paper chase till you dead. So that's what I did. Thought I was a strange kid, kept to myself, but you can't trust no one else. Never on the same beat, least activity this street, and another mark up on my rap sheet. And you know it ain't good, but you gotta keep it hood. In each and every way, each and every day, find a way to get paid, do what it takes. Shake some shakes, put some butter on some pancakes. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never end this fucked up reality. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. For now I lay low, business is sorta slow. Got my first call when it first started to snow. Hello, home of the White House. I'll be there in a minute, bro. Better have all my money though, step of the toes. I guess what I get for snorting all my shit up my nose. You got your friends, you got your foes. Who's who, nobody knows. Guess it's just how it goes. Can't explain, say no name, show no shame up in the game. Make your bed, feed your head to soul. She said don't do the crime unless you're devoted to the time. Bitch, you're robbing motherfucker blind. Dealing with shit and piss, so I piss some shit and then forget what I just spoke. Left a lyrical note and all I wrote. Bitch, the papers, I hope. Watch the life go up in smoke. In a flash from a blast, see how long their money lasts in their hand. I'm the man, self-employed, you understand. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. Well, I don't know where I'm gonna go, so I'm just gonna sit back and stack my toe. Times of depression, people sitting there stressing. I got a talent, making money, a calling my blessing. Ever since I was a kid, sweat stains on my lid. From the bottom of the page to the top of the grid, rising like a rock, got money in my pocket. People tell me to quit, but I'm never gonna stop it. When I'm on my grind, start falling behind. Said I was getting out the game, but then I changed my mind. Life is too pricey for kids and no wifey. Got a lot to lose, but I really need some tight piece. Yeah, I know it sucks, you really need $1,000,000. Long sleeve, sharp shoes, and a sharp tux. Nail in my wheel, you know how I feel. Gotta pay $10 just to get it sealed. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. Nobody showed me, why should I show thee? This is just a fucked up reality. Nobody showed him, that's how the show's been. Seems he'll never win this fucked up reality. That's money on the minus, you should've went to Midas. You should've seen your face, that was so priceless. Got my laugh for the day, now I collect my pay. Turn my mic off cause I got nothing more to say.
Can you hear me now? All right, my bad. Listen, shout out to Lyrical, the lyricist. Primo, what up, man? Shout out to y'all, man. Jumping into the live, man. That's Lyrical, the lyricist, man. Fucked up reality. Okay. Where we gonna go with this? The first thing, man. Listen. This record is too long. It's at 4 minutes and 10 seconds. For this tempo and for where this record is currently at, it is entirely too long. Something with this mix that I'm hearing, it seems like your vocal is panned to my left ear. I don't know if you guys were able to peep that when you were listening. Like, it seemed as if his vocal was more so pushed to the left side and his music was more so pushed to the right side. I don't know if that was intentional or something that somebody just kind of messed up on the back end. In terms of everything else, I mean, I feel like it's kind of, it's kind of hit or miss, man. Like, what I'm saying, like, the hook is there. There's a hook there. It's not really a super strong hook in my opinion. When we're using these type of hooks and we're using these type of songs that have these type of, like if we're using explicit language in the title of our songs, right now the algorithm doesn't really push these things. Just so that you kind of get an idea of that. Like, these things kind of get, I don't want to say low key blacklisted, but this is really kind of what happens, man. Like, in a nutshell, like, where it's like the algorithm is looking to make sure when it's pushing stuff that it doesn't necessarily contain certain type of language for advertisers, right? So if it's having this type of language in the title of your song, I think you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You guys got to know how to play this game in terms of, like, YouTube and these type of places, because there's no other places to promote your music. So you have to put yourself in a situation where you can promote your music. And if you're not putting the right titles and stuff like that in your music, it's basically like you're kind of suppressing yourself, to be honest. In terms of his voice, he has a different type of voice. It's a different type of rap voice. A different type of rap flow. I just think that it would be better in smaller and shorter doses, right? I think that probably would play towards your strength, because really right now what it has is just kind of like this monotone thing that you got going, which is cool, but it doesn't necessarily, I don't think it's going to land in terms of being able to keep people engaged, right? So we have to basically find a way to create some sort of energy, when you were delivering these vocal performances, so that it doesn't just all sound, kind of monotone all the way throughout. Same thing with the hook. The hook doesn't necessarily sound like it's different from the verses, because everything is still on the same kind of it's like it's the same thing all the way across. So we got to kind of find a way to enhance the hook to make that stand out. We got to find ways to make sure that the verses are, like, very, very succinct. You know what I mean? I'm not recommending anybody do 4-minute and 10-second songs, man, in 2026. I'm not recommending that at all. It's entirely too long. Remember what we're looking for. We're looking to, you have a lot of parameters as independent artists to get to what I would call where the royalties are going to land, right? Because, Spotify has these different parameters in terms of you making 1,000 plays and all these type of different things. And what happens is when you make your songs too long, I think what happens is you create a situation where you don't have the replay value. And you need the replay value in order to hit the thresholds for you to start hitting monetization for real. So it's something to think about. In terms of where that mixes, like I said, I feel like he's panned on one side of the vocal. His vocals is panned to the left. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was kind of like, kind of threw me off a little bit with that. But the beat for me kind of was like just kind of doing the same thing. I think the beats need to enhance itself where the hooks are at, meaning we need to add different instrumentation so that it can basically sound like a real hook and for musically. That's what I'm hearing. That's what's standing out to me. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream, man. We got a bunch of folks that submitted some skips. I appreciate y'all. We're going to try to listen to these now and get into this thing. We're going to be on here for a little bit tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make up for the weekend for not being in the situation. Shout out to my man J Love. He's been working on this record. For folks who are not understanding this, I'll give you some backstory. J Love submitted this record maybe a little over a week ago, bro. So he submitted this record like a little over a week ago, and we heard some things and we said, okay, make some tweaks. He shot it back to us. We listened to it again. He was like, I was like, yo, we got a little bit more things that we got to fix on it. So it looks like he went back in now. It says Ray Daniels gave me the what? Gave me the green light. And he said it in. He said, huh? He gave me the green light on this now, huh? He gave me the green light. J Love, you still in here? Shout out to Ray Daniels, bro. I'm glad we got it up to speed, right? That's what it was about, right?
Yeah, you bring me peace.
Island Flame, J Love.
You're my island flame, sweet like sugar cane. Every time you call my name, we know love will never change, never change. Girl, you got the finest energy, divine, yes. How me feel let you go. Just a stylish, when you got me mindless, you me up and let you know. You're my island flame. You're my island flame. Yeah, you bring me peace.
Yes.
Every time you move, my heart beat increase. Yeah. Your touch put my soul at ease. Yeah. When you waste no time to free. Body talk, you don't even need to speak. Got me locked in, girl, I can't leave. Yeah, you're my island flame, sweet like sugar cane. Every time you call my name, me know love will never change, never change. Girl, you got the finest energy, divine, yes. How me feel let you go. Just a stylish, when you got me mindless, you me up and let you know. You're my island flame. You're my island flame. Yeah, you bring me peace. Every time you move, my heart beat increase.
Yes.
Your touch put my soul at ease. Would I crown you with a ring? Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, you are my paradise. You're my sweetest wine. Oh, oh, oh. Gotta let the sky tonight. Baby, we gon' vibe tonight. You're my island flame. Yeah, you're sweet like sugar cane. Yeah, every time you call my name, we know that we'll never change, never change. Girl, you got the finest energy, divine, yes. How me feel let you go. You natural and stylish, when you got me mindless, me I'll be let you know. You're my island flame. You're my island flame. Girl, you got the finest energy, divine, yes. How me feel let you go. You're my island stylish, when you got me mindless,
got it.
me I'll be let you know. You're my island finest energy, divine, yes. How me feel let you go. You're my island stylish, when you got me mindless, me I'll be let you know. Yeah, you bring me peace.
My guy. My guy. Okay, my guy. J Love in the building, my guy. Okay. So now that we went through this process, right? Now that we went through this process, you tell me, right? When you decided to take it to another platform, right? Shout out to Ray Daniels. When you take it to another platform, and then he gave you the feedback, how confident were you going into that room? That's what I want people to understand here in his. How confident did you feel going into that other room once you kind of did what you needed to do to get the record where you needed to get the record? Because that's really what it's about. It's about once we kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like once we figure out what needed to be done, and then once you take it outside of here, them guys ain't gonna be able to front on you. Them guys, they full of shit if they do. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? They full of shit if they gonna try to front. Like if over here is telling you that it's good, you good, bro. Don't let nobody over there tell you. Nobody tell you nothing else. No folks gonna tell you all types of crap. Listen, man. Don't nobody tell you nothing. So I'm glad that me and him on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of understands it, and what I shout out to him, and what I agree with him on a lot of things is like, yo, the development portion of the game is missing. And this is really what it requires. It requires us to have this relationship, right, between producer and artist. That's no longer existent, man. I know a lot of you guys have watched this Michael movie, and you guys have to understand the dynamics between this, like, what a producer like Quincy Jones and what a fabulous artist like Michael Jackson created. They did something that could never be replicated. He couldn't replicate it with Teddy Riley. He couldn't replicate it with Roddy Jerkins. He couldn't replicate it. But don't get me wrong, now there were still levels of success, and at the end of the day, he's really kind of competing against himself. So maybe that may not be a fair comparison, because he really is competing against himself. It is Michael Jackson. But what I go on to say is like these relationships with producers and artists being able to really be in sync, man, we create the best joints, man. Like this culture of, hey, send me the beat. Yeah, it doesn't really work. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really work, man, because we're not able to deliver the feedback and tell the artist what to do, and we can't give the feedback. And then a lot of times we give the feedback, the artists don't want to listen to that. So listen, shout out to you for being able to take that constructive feedback and for you to apply it, man, and apply it quickly and pivot and make the necessary changes to see if we can get it over the hump. How soon are you supposed to get on the platform? And I guess the other question is, how much does it cost to get on the platform? Because I know that platform ain't gonna be free. So shout out to those guys trying to, doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? But for those who are just maybe getting in again, like, this is Island Flame, man. J Love submitted this a few weeks ago. We've been making tweaks to it. He's been sending stuff in. We've been making changes. We've been moving things around. He's been taking in notes, because what we had the great pieces of a song, but they were just kind of disjointed in terms of just the way the song arrangement went. And not everybody understands what would make good song arrangement. Like, this is something that takes experience. So, shout out to him for just coming here, taking the feedback, because he could have just said, I like the way that it is. He could have did that too. You know what I'm saying? He decided to take the feedback, decided to make those changes. So that shows where he is as an artist, as his maturity as an artist. So what I'm hoping for now is that once he gets his record on different platforms and more people get to listen to it, then we're able to get out of here. You know what I mean? There you go, my brother. That's all you gotta do, bro. Just find videos that are already performing well and just add your music to it, dog. Period. That's the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? I know some people try to act like, they're taking people's joints and then they're repurposing them and trying to do something else with it. But add your own sound to those records and see what they do. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I guess you gotta prep this for release, because there's no point of you promoting it if it's not out for people to consume. For you, those streams gotta count. So, before you do any of that, man, make sure you get this thing out to DSPs. Make sure you got everything registered. Get all your publishing situation taken care of. Get that copyright taken care of. Get that metadata straight. Get all of the stuff that you need to get correct, because that's going to be the huge issue for make sure that you, 1, can get paid, 2, to get found, 2, you want your streams to count, so you don't want to be out. Also, out. Okay. Man, okay, man. Okay. That's all I got to say. Okay. You ain't playing, you moving fast as hell. Let's go. This version is out, or you changed the other version? So that's fast. Which DSP took it that fast? If you just did this a week ago, right? Okay, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Moving fast, man. Making changes on the fly and make it go. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, man, in 2026, man. Shout out to J Love, man. Y'all can go check out that Island Flame, man, by J Love, man. That joint is out now on all streaming platforms. I'm very happy to have been able to help you on this, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to listen and to impact it. You know what I mean? Let's you know, sky's the limit for you. Let's see where we go. You know what I'm saying? I might have to start making this. I might have to start jumping on this wave. All right now. I'm gonna hold you to that. Shout out to my man, Body Bag Half back in the building. Primo, what's up, man? You got something for me? Man and man. Primo, what up, man? Shout out to y'all, man. Body Bag Half, what's up with y'all in the building, man? What y'all got for me? Let's listen to this.
Man to man. Let's see if you stand a chance. Every day I wake up, I try to go harder. You niggas' life ain't worth shit like a broke charger. Your father's the reason that you got coke problems. I grew up around a bunch of hustlers like the old Harlem. Whip that shit up in the pot until it turns solid. Once it dried, then I'm pitching till I earn profit. You ain't never flipped no package, confirm, stop it. I'm LeBron on my team, you the third option. I been nice and there's more to come. My homie ain't have his own gun, so I brought him one. Child of the ghetto from the block where I brought it from. Looking for me, find me in the hood like the water pump. Y'all will burn bridges, I'd rather throw you over one. Turn this to a golf game and straight up put a hole in one. He ain't never been to church, but somehow he the holy one. Ain't nobody else shot, somehow he the only one. I ain't gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I'ma rob Peter, say fuck Paul, I'm OT. Low key, duck dog, blowing the OZ. Gun on me, no I don't trust y'all. Being buddy, think not what the fuck for. Any kind of beef, get addressed at your front door. I be in my zone, man to man, bet you won't score. Get around them niggas, now you holler, you want war. Apply pressure by any means, the semi-squeeze. You'll bleed on the back of your sneaks like denim jeans. Don't stand up for nothing, then fall for anything. Only goal when you get in the game is get a ring. Had knots hanging out of my pocket at 17. From a block that was rocking, I had like 7 fiends. Came out like 6 in the morning and never leave. Choke hole on the block, they screaming out, let it breathe. I was locked up 2 or 3 years, I couldn't sleep. Life tried to pull a sham guard on me, I wouldn't reach. Plea deal, never signed my name, cause I'm a breach. Overhead trying to give me some wisdom, I let them preach. 10 toes, had to stand on that business till it's complete. War wounds made me tougher and turned me into a beast. Stumbled a couple times, but made it up out the streets. Now you looking at greatness, that's why they call me a G. I ain't gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I'ma rob Peter, say fuck Paul, I'm OT. Low key, duck dog, blowing the OZ. Gun on me, no I don't trust y'all. Being buddy, think not what the fuck for. Any kind of beef, get addressed at your front door. I be in my zone, man to man, bet you won't score. Get around them niggas, now you holler, you want war.
Body Bag Half. Primo G on the production. Let's go. Shout out to you guys, man. I see that we got these hooks in here now. I see we got these hooks in here, man. Check this out. Listen, you rapping like you mean it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even worried about how you spitting at this point, dog. To be honest, the way that you, cause I know you can do that.
Turn this to a golf game and straight up put a hole in one. He ain't never been to church, but somehow he the holy one. Ain't nobody else shot, somehow he the only one. I ain't gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I'ma rob Peter, say fuck Paul, I'm OT.
Make sure with this hook now, this hook seems like it's lower than your main vocal. Your hook gotta be a little bit like that. It gotta stand out. So make sure when we mixing that we getting this hook to really be where the lead vocal is, but it should be slightly up only because it's the hook, and it should be slightly up because of the fact that it has more vocal stacks on it, right? So this needs to stand out a little bit more, right? My other suggestion here, remember what I was telling y'all, 4-bar, repeat twice.
OT, low to pay Paul, ain't gonna rob I ain't gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I'ma rob Peter, say fuck Paul, I'm OT. Low key, duck dog, blowing the OZ. Gun on me, no I don't trust y'all. Being buddy.
I don't trust y'all, buddy. I'm not gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. Repeat it. 4 bars, repeat it. Or take the second part and run that twice. just whatever part you feel is going to be stronger toward where you want the song to be named after. You know what I'm saying? So what I would always suggest, man, is like let's lean further away from 8-bar hooks. We want to have 4-bar hooks and repeat. We don't want to be doing those long rapper hooks. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is when we're dealing with long 8-bar rap hooks, there's not enough redundancy in it for us to have anything that's repeatable. That's the issue. So we have to be able to have some phraseology in there that's going to be repeatable. And the only way we can get that is by doing stuff in segments of 4 and repeating them. Once we go 8, that's really like almost another verse. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't really create what we would call the repetitiveness, like, you know, to make sure that we understand that the name of the song is here because it's being repeated, right? Because if you think about, so let's say for example we did 4 bars twice and we did it 3 times in the hook, right? So that's 4 bars, that's 2 times, right? Then we got another 2 times, that's 4. Then we got another, you know, that's 6 times that we're going to hear the same phrases throughout the record. Whereas right now we're only going to hear everything 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't give us enough repetitiveness. It doesn't give us enough redundancy for it to stand out. So I would always suggest, especially in this microwave, low attention, right? Low attention having cats, right? Cats that have to hear things a million times before they finally catch it, right? Because remember, you are rapping. Now you rapping. So it's even more important for us to get to those hooks that are going to have that repeat value. Or if we're going to say, okay, we do the first 4 bars and then the second four bars is something that keeps repeating. You know what I'm saying? Like every other bar. Like that's the way we be able to get guys, especially if it's going to be an 8-bar hook. So you might do the first 4 bars might have a rap cadence, and then the next 4 bars might have a kind of a, you know, a back and forth, if you don't know, like I don't want to say like a hip hop hooray or OPP, or, you know what I'm saying, but it's like a kind of a call answer type thing that you kind of can have going back and forth. It kind of depends, but all of that stuff is all for redundancy and replay value. If you think about your biggest records, if you think about even like you're dealing with like a 50 Cent or like whatever, it's like we're looking at hooks that have that replay value, at least in the hook, man. Because the way that you're rapping and the way that you sound and the way that your cadence is, and like I said, it's reminiscent of 50, but don't sound like 50. It just reminds me of him, of a hungry 50. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying. But to me, I feel like you're gonna be a little bit more lyrical. So I just need you to get those things in order. Primo, on this beat.
Got coke problems. I grew up around a bunch of hustlers like the old Harlem. Whip that shit up in the pot until it turns solid. Once it dried, then I'm pitching till I earn profit. You ain't never.
Does it change or is that just a loop?
Flip no package, confirm, stop it. I'm LeBron on my team, you the third.
Like that vocal sample doesn't come out?
Option. I've been nice and there's more to come. My homie ain't have his own gun, so I brought him one. Child of the ghetto from the block where I brought it from. Looking for me, find me in the hood.
Because what we could have did on that, if it's all part of one sample, we probably could have did a sem separation. It's not one sample? So how come we didn't take it out during the verses?
Like the water pump, y'all will burn bridges. I'd rather throw you over one. Turn this to a golf game and straight up put a hole in one. He ain't never been to church, but somehow he the holy one. Ain't nobody else shot, somehow he the only one.
Remember to give him space, right? Well, especially when we're dealing with vocal samples, man, let's create space. And okay, so it's one sample. So what happens is like this. We could take that sample because it's all one that got the vocal sample in it. We probably could have ran it through a stem separator, and what we could have did is we could have had those parts without the minus the vocal sample, and use that as the verse, and then use the whole sample again as the hooks, or as the transitions to the hooks. We just want to make sure that we got enough space to hear half. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is sometimes the vocal samples can become distracting if we're not paying attention to it while it's going during the verses. So I always say to make sure that you're just kind of being able to strip your joints down especially if you have joints that have sounds in it that are just all part of one sample. Like, get into the habit of using these stem separators and making sure that we're separating these parts and then EQing them to kind of get them to stand separately. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, in this situation, like I do this kind of often if you watch our music production tutorials, I may have a joint that have a vocal sample and then I run it through the stem separation, and then what we do now is we relay all of those parts and then we reprogram those so that we have control over when we could bring things in and out. You know what I'm saying? And then it requires a little bit more EQing and stuff like that, because sometimes the step separation may not be totally clean, but you'll have a lot more control over the final product, especially when you got an artist like Fab that's spitting, man. When you got a guy like that can really rap, we got to give him space to get heard. You know what I'm saying? It's our responsibility as the producers to make sure he get heard. You know what I'm saying? Because what is that going to do for your production? Right, you got to think about it. Like, you guys are creating something from the ground floor, right? So as long as you can cultivate his sound, as long as you can get his sound to really have that stamp, as long as you can get him to shine, right, vocally on what you putting on, right? Remember, we have to make sure that that's the last instrument, right? Is the vocal performance. We can't get the vocal performance to get lost with the beat. We have to find a way to get those. We got to get that to stand out. We got to get everything to kind of marry a little bit, but at the same time, making sure that he's embellished on, so that he can basically carry what he has to carry as a lyricist. And then you as a producer, now you're building the music bed so that he can lie in that, like, you know what I mean? And just kind of coast through this whole joint where he need to coast through it. Over time, you'll develop the synergy, which is going to basically put you at a different level, because now he's going to know exactly what you got to do. You're going to know exactly what works with his voice. And just start paying attention to the tones. Start paying attention to the pitches. Start paying attention to the tempos. Start paying attention to the keys that work with his voice, right? Because there are certain joints that you play me that work a little bit better with his voice than maybe with this one. Because this one sample now, this key is kind of weird. So what we probably should have did with this joint is we probably should have tuned it a little bit so that it sounds a little bit different with his voice tone. Right? Because the sample is doing one thing, his voice is doing another thing. This is the stuff that we have to pay attention to, is making sure that we're getting the things in the right tune so that it can complement them. So you got a job to do, bro. All right? Half. You're doing your thing. You got a job to do. We got to make sure that we're putting this thing together in the right way so that we can get you to the finish line. Y'all go check out Body Bag Half, man. I could tell y'all that y'all gonna be very happy with where he's spitting, especially after the end of the week when the rap game gets kind of tilted, because the rap game is about to get tilted. Because I expect that the kid from Canada is gonna come with a lot of shots for people, and he's gonna be talking that talk, and guys are gonna be listening to lyrics again. So, for all of those guys that are rapping and who've been waiting for all of this what do we call it? We call it all this mumble music to go away. Now is the time. The mumble music is going away. Calvin, what up? Rob Mully, what up? Amrak Music, what up? How y'all doing? Y'all all right, man? Hope y'all been good. Hope y'all had a good Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the stream. But that's Man to Man by Body Bag Half. Make sure y'all checking that out. This is Test by Nova. I don't know what this is.
Started out hard every night and one night too easy. Cut off the call, shut the phone off, and I'm somewhere you can't see me. Cool and just breathe. Got everything I need. Test of faith, you got what it took.
Yo, I feel like there is a decent groove hidden in here. I feel like there's a really good groove that's hidden in here. That's not really being brought out. You know, like there's some musicality in there that's being buried because we have the 808 that's going too crazy. You know what I mean? The 808 is just going so crazy in the mix that we're losing the rest of the instrumentation in the music, man. If you listen to it, right, there's a portion of this music here that can really go. Right here, right? Like there's some promise.
Test of faith, you got what it took.
And like, you know what I'm saying, and with that vocal performance, man, test of faith, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna do it, man, you gotta like really, like, you gotta spit this joint, man. Like you gotta think like you kinda, like, cause this is that kinda, you know, well, the current state of Rolling Loud music. You know what I'm saying?
Cut off your infantry, I cut a fake off too easy. Cut off the call, shut the phone off, and I'm somewhere you can't see me. Cool and just breathe.
And they can barely hear his vocals.
Got everything I need. Test of faith, you got what it took.
Like I feel like this has like that. I feel like there's some promise there, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like it just you know needs to have like a little bit of a better mix. I need to kind of be focusing on, like, you know, the nuance of that production, that like all of the elements is kind of there. We just kind of have to. We gotta find a way to get it to cut through the mix better. You know what I'm saying? And then the vocal performance is kind of too lazy for me. It kind of needs to be a little bit more energetic to kind of match where that music is at. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. That's Nova, Test of Faith, I guess. Shout out to him, man. You know what I'm saying? We're about to jump into the next joint. Let's take a listen real quick. I hate to say it, by who's this by? Hoodwitch. He says he's only 14 years old. All right, let's take a listen to this. The song is gone. Apologies, man. You guys, you know, should have submitted a skip, man. This song probably been sitting in here for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we got over 1,000 songs. We've had well over 1,100, almost 1,200 songs submitted in this thing since we've started it. So, you know, I would tell folks to, like when we're on live now, and like when we get on between like 8 and 9 o'clock, you know, to kind of get it heard, best bet is to just jump right in and get it skipped so that we can hear it real time. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. This is Without Water. What's this called? Attack Me. Drums are clean. Baseline is good where it's at. It's definitely 808 drums. He got it clean. Like he got his mix pretty clean. It's like you may or may not you may or may not care for the beat itself, but it's like it's technically sound. It got the right rhythm, it got the right rhythm, it got the right bass lines, sounds. It has the right sounds to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just if it depends on the arrangement. Like the arrangement to me could be improved, right? So I know that it's off rip that the arrangement could be a little bit better. I think melodically, it's not enough for me to really resonate to, because it's kind of doing the same thing, kind of just monotony, and remember what's gonna really stand out, man, is that we have to find melodies that cut through, right? Things that are a lot more melodic, that cut through and especially if you're trying to sell beats, if you're trying to sell music, man. Like these type of things can just be good for, if we're doing something, content wise. But like if we're trying to take stuff like this and trying to get it into songs or try to get it placed with different artists, it's gonna have to do more. But the drums is doing what it gotta do. I think I like where his chords is at. I like where his bass line is at in terms of mix level. And he's working the shit out of these 808 drums. Let's attack me, man, without water, man. Let's try to get something in here, man. Like, I'm saying? I would wonder what it would sound like if we were able to get some sort of different melody on there, some different instrumentation on there. Maybe even run it into the AI. Maybe even, get a sample on top of it in the same key to kind of see what we can get to get those drums to bring out something else, But shout out to him on this, man. Thanks for submitting this. Oh, my man, Port Chocolate Boy Swagger, his joint finally got caught up here, man. What's that, man? He was 548, man. He was deep in this queue, bro. Come on, man. You gotta get this move to the line, man. Come on. This is Dez, Chocolate Boy Swagger, man. Shout out to him. Immediately this bass is probably overpowering it, and then if you listen to this bass line, it's it may be slightly out of key, and probably the reason for that is probably what we're using is we're probably using a bass sample, and we're probably doing the 16 levels. But when we're doing the 16 level, because I know it uses an MPC, what happens is when you're doing the 16 levels, man, 16 levels sometimes can be a little tricky on the ear. Right? Sometimes it'll give you a note that's in between. So you have to really pay attention to that, and you have to really making sure that when you're playing bass lines, and this is a trick that we used to use before all of the key stuff, all of the key tools that we got to keep stuff in key. We used to have to play the bass line along. First, we used to have to take the bass line and we used to have to tune it, tune the bass with another sound. So we would probably use like a piano sound or a electric piano sound to make sure that the core C note was tuned with the other C note. Now remember, when we're playing bass lines, when we go up and down in terms of keys, it changes, right? So sometimes the notes that you're playing can actually change in terms of sound. So now when your main C might be in tune, but when you start going up in scale, it starts to change the way this bass line sounds. So if you listen to it, like certain parts of it is going to sound like it's in tune and the rest of it isn't in tune. Listen to it. Right there. And then the longer you hear it, the longer you hold the note, the more you hear it that it's actually not in the right key. So what are the options? The options is to basically try to play with the sound until you get it in the right key, or take the sound, put it across different pads, tune the pads differently, right? Don't treat the pads as one instrument. Keep moving the pads to another instrument to kind of see if, basically put the sound on a different pad and tune it independently for each note, which, can be a little bit, of a task. But if we have a bass that you're married to, that you swear that you have to use that sound, that's probably the fix. Or for me, I would probably just find an alternate sound, one that's probably more of a factory sound that has all of that stuff in there. So especially for bass lines, I like to use a sub factory in a Kai, just to make sure that these things are going to stay on tune, dog. And if you find that you still can't find where it has to be, and it's still sounding like it's still going to be a little off to you, what you do is you try to bring it down into the mix to trick the air, right? If you can bring it down into the mix, sometimes the drums could mask it, or the drums could overplay it to kind of make it sound like it's doing something else. Or we can bring the sample up, or bring the sample up so that the sample can kind of make it feel like it's doing something that it's really not doing. You got to play games to trick people's ears with it. But shout out to Chocolate Boy Swagger, man. I appreciate you, man, for putting this one in here. Pause, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to jump into this next joint real quick. This is called Bigger Than Hollywood by LeBlunt. LeBlunt. We're going with LeBlunt. Hey, yo. B-I-G-G-L-E-B-U-T, I'm coming straight on. DJ Premier shit. Into the ring by G-Ever. The one and only woman only. You check the drop and pop it like a crack addict. Count your shit, motherfucker, this shit is mathematic. My flow is slick, automatic. I spit moving faster than a speed up like if you semi-automatic. Oh, stop. Get your thoughts to fight, lyrical battle. Liquid swerve to the words, I'm coming to the game like a fucking asteroid. You sound good, it's cause you tweak your shit with sounds to right. I break it down straight from the underground, still digging up for the golden sound. You won't mess around in this rodeo, motherfucker, yeah, you let me go, let me blow like an ant. Diamonds money so you won't get them, motherfucker, you won't get them, motherfucking damn. Mine is only for the killing me. Shout out to everybody in the live, man. Listen, man, LeBlunt, man. Yo, man, I think you missed the opportunity on this one, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think you missed the opportunity on this, dog. Yeah, listen to this. This beat is crazy. Listen to this beat, y'all. This beat is crazy, dog. This beat is crazy. This beat is crazy. Half. You know what I'm talking about. This beat is crazy. Hey, yo. B-I-G-G-L-E-B-U-T, I'm coming straight on. DJ Premier shit. Into the ring by G-Ever. Sound like DJ Premier for real. Alright, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You check the drop and pop it like a crack addict. Count your
shit, motherfucker, this shit is mathematic. My flow is seismic, automatic. I spit more than faster than and speed up like if you semi-automatic. Oh, stop. Get your thoughts to fight, lyrical battle. Liquid swerve to the words, I'm coming to the game like a fucking asteroid. You sound good.
No, that's not the flow. Like, that's not the flow, dog. It's like you took the beat and you just went like this. Too much words, too wordy, too, trying to curse your way through it, man. This joint needed you to really spit on this joint, right? Because you already got the head nod, right? You got to think Biggie, right? You got to think Jay-Z, right? You got to think Nas, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to think shit 50. You got to think MOP, right? Like, you got to think like how would they hit this beat? And what you just did ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about all those people that I just named, you know what I'm saying, Voicified 9 or whoever, who going to get on this joint, who's going to be, their flow is going to be immaculate on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't going to be able to, come on, dog. Nah, dog, that's not it, doggy. I'm sorry, doggy. If I'm in the room, I'm like, no, that's not it. Try it again. I need you in the pocket on this one. You know what I'm saying? For those all watching, man, it matters. It matters. It matters. You know what I'm saying? Jadakiss, it matters. The game, it matters. Prodigy, it matters. You know what I'm saying? And I'm naming legendary names that people will be playing for the rest of probably the rest of our natural lives. They'll be playing these guys' music. And it's because it hits the pocket. It's because it marries to the beat. It's because they understand, rhythmic control, breath control, cadence. You understand? Like, these guys know how to play on the beat, man. Got to be on the beat, man. Like, that's one of the things. That's the quintessential thing of being as a rapper. We're listening for that as producers. It's like the difference between the people who are it and who are not it are the ones who can always stay on beat, bust the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, what do you think makes Drake Drake? What do you think makes Kendrick Kendrick? Like, you think these guys can be who they are and not being able to rap on beat? T.I. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It don't matter where you from, Andre 3000. You got to be on beat, dog. And you have to understand, like, okay, this type of beat requires this type of flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that requires you to study as an artist and to understand, like, these kind of records require this kind of flow. How would Kanye attack this, or how would this person do this? Because it reminds us of this. So the minute that somebody say, hey, this beat reminds us of DJ Premier, look how much artists I just named that rock on DJ Premier beats that you're going to really have to, get crazy and really, really rep with. So it's just one of those things, man. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in on the live, man. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be about my time for the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to jump into some other things, but we're going to keep this thing moving and grooving. Come tomorrow, we're going to be on here, a little earlier tomorrow. We get toward the end of the year, end of the year stuff with these kids in school. So, I'm trying to make sure we're managing all of that as a, active dad, you know what I'm saying? Got a kid graduating and stuff. So, trying to manage all these things at the same time. But shout out to everybody that's jumping into the game. You know what I'm saying? Friday's going to be this Iceman. So, I may have to do a special Iceman. I may have to do an Iceman review. An Iceman review live stream. To see if the game is really the game. You know what I'm saying? If the game is going to change. And I pray for him that he gets. I pray for him that this one be his final classic album, not the final album, but finally get that certified type classic that he needs to really cement himself and get himself away from the haters. You know what I'm saying? And I see everybody backpedaling, but you know, it's a good time in hip hop right now. So we about to see what happens. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. J Love, man. All you guys, man. Primo, Body Bag Half, man. Shout out to y'all, man. And Rap Music. Rob Mully Calvin, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.